Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to be solving another question from the second chapter of engineering mechanics and statics by Meriam. We have question 87, and as part of a design test, the camshaft drive sprocket is fixed, and then the two forces are shown in the figure. So T1 and T2 are applied to a length of belt wrap around the sprocket, and we need to find the resultant of the system of two forces and determine where its line of action intersects both x and y axes. So we solve questions similar to this one in the previous videos, and basically what the question is asking is just to replace all the forces that we have in this system with one single force that makes the same moment about point O, and we can find the x and y intercept pretty quick. So let's just find the resultant of all these forces. So basically we need to find the sum of all forces. So we have the angle with each of these, so we should be able to find the x and y component pretty easy. We have x and y in the question. So the x component of T1 would be 400 sine of 45, and keep in mind that the 45 is our lucky angle because the sine and cosine is the same. So if you mess up the opposite or adjacent, it won't make any change. Plus, also we have 500 sine of 15 degrees. That's going to be our x component. The y component, we can see they're both downward. So if you just want to resolve these, this is going to be x and y of the 500, and this is going to be the 400, and this is the last one is the 500. So we can see that they're both downward, so negative 400 cosine of 45 and negative 500 cosine of 15 degrees. That's going to be our J, and the unit is going to be in Newton. So let's just calculate this pretty quick. So 500 sine of 45 plus just 400. 500 sine of 45, 515. So our R is going to be 412i, and the J is gonna be basically negative here, cosine in here, negative in here, and cosine in here. So that's gonna be negative 766J, and as I said, the unit will be in newtons. So that's gonna be our R, which we can see that has positive x component, negative y component. So this is going to be our r in this direction. So now we have to figure out if the moment of these two are clockwise or counterclockwise, and based on that we can decide that our r should be below x-axis or above, because it's going to make two different moments, like regarding the direction. The bottom one is going to be counterclockwise and the top one is clockwise. So let's just figure that out. So the good thing about this is from the geometry, we know that every tangent on a circle would be perpendicular to the radius. That means we already have the vertical distance. So our moment would be basically the force times the radius. And if we do that, so we are trying to find a moment about O counterclockwise positive. That's our sign convention. So the distance is the same for each of these. It's going to be the radius, and we can see T1 is going to be counterclockwise, so positive, and T2 would be clockwise, so negative. So we can factor the radius, which is 16 millimeters, so divide by 1000 to get it in meter. And the positive is going to be 400 because it's counterclockwise, and negative 500. So just factor the radius because it's the same for both, and this is going to give us the moment in Newton meter. So it's going to be negative 100. So basically we have negative 6 Newton meter, and the moment is clockwise because it's negative, and it's going to be in k direction also. So now that we know that the moment is clockwise, we were thinking which R should we take. We know the direction of R is this one in this direction. So because the moment is clockwise, we have to go with the top one, not the bottom one. And that's how we're going to find the x and y intercept. This is going to be the line of action of the force. And we can resolve the force in x and y. So let's do the x-intercepts first. So we need the y component of r. So ry times x is going to give us the x-intercept. So ry is 766 times x, and the moment is 6 Newton meters. So we can find our x. 6 divided by 76. And this is going to give us the x in meter. So we're just going to multiply by 1000. So 7.83 millimeter. And if you just want to find the y-intercept, we're going to go with this one. The x component is not going to make any moment, but we have the moment of rx, and the distance would be y. So rx times y, and rx is 412. It's going to be the same moment, and our y would be 6 divided by 412. And we're going to multiply it by 1000 to get it in millimeter, 14.56 millimeters. And yeah, that's going to be the final answer. The other way that you can find this is that you can go with the moment r cross f, and you're going to have that determinant I, J, K. So your r would be x and y as variable. There's no k, and your f is what you found for r. So 412 negative 766, and the moment, this is going to be equal to negative 6. So if you find this determinant, you're going to find an equation based on x and y, and for finding the intercept, just put x equals 0. You're going to get y, which is what we found in here, or you can put y equals 0 for finding the x-intercept, and this is going to give you this x. Feel free to pick whatever best works for you. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.